Dalton here with my MMA news, and as I just told her off camera, I'm super excited because we haven't talked in quite some time. So I'm super excited to talk to my next guest. She will be taking on Sarah Collins at the Bellator Champion Series on June 22nd, live in Dublin, Ireland. She is a PFL finalist from last year, the one and only Olena Kolesnyk. Elena, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Of course, of course. Now, I'm super happy to see you back inside the cage competing. I know, obviously, last year did not end the way you wanted it to. You fought with a heavy heart last year with everything going on, in Ukraine. But overall, when you look back at last year, how would you summarize it? Were you happy with how you grew as a fighter, as a woman? Were you? I know you didn't get the title, but were you happy with how the year went?
Well, I will be more happy with the title.
Obviously, yes.
Yeah, uh, I won two great fights, and I lost my long-term opponent to Pacheco. It was a great punch. It was fast. It was heavy. She broke my nose again. And of course, I will be more satisfied if our fight will be a little bit longer. But with respect to Larissa, she catch me really well with this punch. And as soon as we step into the cage, we know that it's either we win or our opponent win. So it is what it is. Like I'm just happy to continue my journey, and yeah, just can't wait to step in my upcoming fight.
Like I said, I know I can't wait for it because not that you and I have known each other for a very long time, but I feel like we've always had great conversations. On this podcast, I have said so many times that the Bellator Dublin events are the best events in all fight sports. Or you're going with Bellator over to Dublin, and obviously, like I said, and like you mentioned, a finalist with the PFL last year. You spent a lot of time with the PFL. You spent a lot of time with Invicta. Can you kind of talk about just what led to joining the Bellator side of things?
Well, Bellator is a well-known name of organization from the whole world, and to represent now Bellator, it's an honor for me, and I'm really grateful that they give opportunity for me to fight. So I just want to win this fight and have more fights. Under Bellator contract, I will be more than happy to represent Bellator right now.
Let me ask you this because there's a few questions I have for the Bellator side of things. One of them being particularly that it seems like Bellator will be a staple in the European side of the world, right? It'll continuously be international fights. They will have a few fights here in the States, but knowing that, competing over in Europe or competing on the other side of the world, what does that mean? Because it's, you get so much more eyes and you're going to travel the world a lot more and obviously be a little bit closer to home than you would if, let's say, you fought in New York City or whatever. What does it mean to kind of represent, Europe over with Bellator?
Well, I'm representation of Europe. I'm Ukrainian, and that will be awesome because a lot of Ukrainians right now in Europe because of what's going on in my country. So I will have more audience, more people on my fight, which make me really happy to see my people. So, and of course, Europe. I was traveling in Europe many years when I was amateur, and I was actually in Ireland, Dublin. I still have there my friends. So I'm really happy to fight in Europe. There is a lot of city which I still not visit in Europe, and I will be happy to show my skills and make more audience and see much more my friends, which in Europe right now on my fights, which not able to travel to US, for example. But of course, fighting it in US, it's cool too.
Well, I love wherever you'll fight. I can't make it overseas right now because it obviously costs a lot. But if you fight in Europe or you fight in the States, I definitely would love to see you fight in person one day. Back to Bellator questions, though. So I'm going to take it a long way about, and you're taking on Sarah Collins. She's undefeated. You're obviously a veteran of the sport. What does it mean to you to have this challenge of a young, hungry, just not, I don't want to say inexperienced because I don't want to disrespect Sarah Collins, but you've fought for titles, you've been through it all. What does Sarah Collins present to you as a challenger?
Well, I wouldn't call her young because we won the same year, like born the same year. Let's start from that. So, I mean, I never have any easy fight of my career. I always been, they always take me as an underdog on my fights. So all my three losses, it was loss for the champion to Pacheco. Let's start from this. And any other girls I fight, they other, like for example, Pam Saunderson or Felicia Spencers, they became a champions too. So only one step always like keep me away from the title. And but like Elton John singing, I'm still standing. And every year, every fight, I became closer to my dream, to my goal, to finally have a professional MMA belt. So, and now I'm in Bellator. Of course, my focus will be on this belt. And about Sarah, what can I say? Like, I mean, she just one more stairs before my goal.
Well, with that goal being in mind, you mentioned, you're focused now on the Bellator title. This is really a showcase. The Bellator Dublin event, similar to what you experienced in PFL, where they were featuring certain divisions. The women's featherweight division is going to be on display in full come the Dublin event here on the 22nd. What does it mean to you, and what message do you think you send not only to Bellator, but to the division that you've arrived in Bellator and you're coming for that title?
Well, what can I say? My fights will speak louder than my words, and I think girls realize who come in for this belt. And I know some girls mention and judge me for my last fight to Pacheco. Well, but for you guys, and not again. I keep proving that the only person who stopped me, it was the champ. So it speaks a lot about me. So I mean, they can they can think whatever they want to think. I totally, like a horse, you can just see something in the front of you you don't see on the side. And all I want to become closer and closer to the belt. And no matter for me, like how hard fights I have or how hard life to me, I just I'm not stopped.
Put the blinders on, right? Like you said, like the horse, put the blinders on.
It's always like that,
So I'm
Until
going to come full circle. Like I said, when I first started asking the Bellator question. So I'm not getting too far ahead of myself, but I do want to work all the way back. So if things go according to plan for you in this fight and you continue to build your way up, when, not if, when you do achieve Bellator gold, will your message then be to Bellator and PFL? Hey, I'm the champ. You guys do champ versus champ. I want my revenge against Larissa Pacheco. Would that be ideal for you
yes,
as the
yes,
Bellator champ
yes,
to take her on?
yes, yes, 1 billion% yes, 1 billion% yes. I would like to fight with Pacheco again.
I know I would love to see
I
it.
don't give, it's my. I don't want to say it's. I huge respect Larissa. I huge respect her coach, but it's something. I'm actually grateful for these losses because, as you can see, every time when I lost Pacheco, I beat girl who beat Clarissa Shields. I beat UFC veteran. I beat. I make upset of the night with Aspenland. So I just I just keep became better and better. And again, this lost to her, like I believe one thinks whatever God sent me, that by purpose. So even these losses I take as a challenge for me, as a lessons for me to become better skill fighter. So yeah, like call me crazy, but I would like to fight with Pacheco again.
Well, you can kick my ass, so I'm never calling you crazy. I'm never calling you crazy. Um, I got to ask on the kind of notion of Larissa and, her potential fight with Chris Cyborg. It's kind of making the rumors out there. How do you see that fight playing out between those two?
It's hard to say because, again, I respect. For nowadays, the girl who fighting in 145, well, I think this is the toughest girl in the division. It's Pacheco and Cyborg. Cyborg, it's a huge legend. And I actually, let's say I grew up on her fights. I watch them again and again. She's incredibly great fighter, which continue to improve her skills. Nowadays she fights in boxing. So Chris looked like a great human being, to be quite honest. And Larissa, I personally know how Larissa can hit, so she hit hard. Well, it's hardly to predict, but I definitely would like to watch this fight.
I think the world is definitely excited for that fight. I've got to say, so when we did a couple interviews last year, you and I got onto the topic and conversation of men and being intimidated by someone like you. It's been almost a year since we talked now. Have we figured it out? Have the men gotten smarter around you now?
Well,
You can say no.
no, no. I can say I'm deeply in love, and I'm grateful for. You know what's crazy? Last year, in the beginning of the year, I tell one of my coaches, I'm like, coach, like I don't care about any man. Like let's win the belt. Like I'm just focused on my career. Blah blah blah. Months after, I just lost. I just fall in love. So yeah, there is in this world there's a lot of, I'm sure. So girls don't give up. A strong mentally and physically, man. So everything will be okay with you guys.
I love it. That's a great That was one question that when we had our interviews, people kept coming to me like, "Man, she's just grilling men out here. She's letting them know like they got to get their shit together." And I'm like, "I know, but I'm not gonna tell her she's wrong." I was like, "I agree. Men need to get their shit together." So I'm happy to hear that honestly. And to that point, how freeing is that when personal life is going good, business is good? Never that you're going to be fully relaxed going into a fight, but does it make quality of life better when you're in training camp knowing that in your personal life things are good and you're just happy every single day?
Like it's kind of scary, to be honest. I mean, usually when I come into the like in the fight camp, something falling apart, like personal life or something like some other stuff like study or whatever. But this is maybe first time for so many years when I feel myself so happy and so complete. So I can't complain. I can't
I'm
complain.
I'm so happy for you. I can see it in your face as you talk about it. It makes me happy because, as you know, I'm not just here to talk to you about your fight. I want the fans to get to know you as a person. And I'm going to ask a pretty deep question here. When people look at your story, and your career, and someone who's gotten to the mountaintop but hasn't gotten over the mountaintop, and now you're moving over to Bellator, and you're going to go up a new mountain now, especially given your roots from Ukraine and everything that they're going to. If I just specifically look at Ukraine, do you think your story is a testament to the people of Ukraine, to women of Ukraine, that we never give up, and they can pull inspiration from you and your career?
Well, I don't think I know the messages I receive from Ukrainian soldiers, from Ukrainian girls who still are there. And I root for any Ukrainian fighter, any organization, to be quite honest. And I'm really happy when they win the fights. I'm like, because I personally know how hard it is not even fight in the high level, to be signed in the organization, to have opportunity to fight. Because let's be honest, in the beginning, not every organization want to buy you a ticket from Ukraine. And I'm not even speaking about like war, like it was before war. But now with war, became extremely hard. And to be honest, I'm thinking about when I feel like it's time to retirement, I would like to help a lot of Ukrainian fighters to achieve the goals and to get to the best league, because I know I know great guys and great girls who which they just don't have opportunity to show the skills, you know. Well, the fighting career, it's not only your skills and your talent, it's luck. Sometimes people just don't have this opportunity. But what I want to say, you guys, no matter how life punch you, no matter circumstances, just keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward. No matter what people say around, if you have your dream, if you have your goal, just keep moving forward and nobody can stop you. Not your parents, not your friends, not the audience. Just follow your dream, because we live only once. And what the point to live this life without dream? So keep going to your dream every day, every hour, every second.
I think that's beautiful, and I would love to see you get involved. Just two more questions here for me, and I really appreciate the time. To kind of this point about Ukrainian fighters, what can you tell the world about, the fighters that we've seen? Yaroslav Amosov, who was the former Bellator champ, giving
Uh,
his life in the war, right? He was in war and hiding his belt in a bunker. He was serving his country. He was serving Ukraine, and then came back. Lomachenko on the front lines. What can you tell the world about what that says about Ukraine, about Ukrainian people? That, yeah, we may be world-class fighters. We don't have to do all this, but it means something to protect our country, to serve our people, and to go to war for our people. What does that say to the world?
it's not, you say we don't need to do it. It's not what you need or not need to do it. You just have no choice. Especially when you're man, you must protect your country. For example, I was I was so upset, and my heart was crying when Yaroslav lost this fight. But I know why, and I understand why, because I can only imagine how hard it was for him, because his city, his hometown, Irpin, was one of the first city under attack of Russian. Half of the city, if not most of part of the city, destroyed totally. So, and this is real video where he hiding his belt, because that was awful. And after all of that, he kept training. And congratulations to him. Now he have a second child, daughter, his wife pregnant. So yeah, but I'm truly believe that Yaroslav can come back and be champ again. He's well skilled, he is strong minded, and I will be happy to root for another more Ukrainian in professional MMA
I
joining.
love everything you say about the Ukrainian, not only fighters but people. I think it's a very close knit group of people, and I compliment you on all of that. Last one, what's your message? Not just to Sarah Collins, not to just to the division, but to Bellator and to Bellator fans. They're gonna get their first look at you. What should they expect from you in Dublin?
As I say in PFL 2023, I'm here for blood. I think I need to make the t-shirt with that.
You should make the
What
t-shirt, and you should have the blood dripping in blue and yellow Ukrainian colors. You're here for blood.
Correct, correct. The craziest part that somehow my Ukrainian flag was in blood. I don't know, it's my blood or my opponent blood, but anyway, what can I say? I'm not scared to to make a dirty fight. I'm not scared to lose. And I think when you realize that you're not scared to lose, like it's make you a more dangerous opponent, because after all my battles, I know what can happen. So I will do all my best and show all my skills. And I'm really grateful and appreciate for Bellator now. It's honor for me to represent Bellator now. I'm happy, to be honest.
Well, I'm happy we got a chance to talk again. You'll be taking on Sarah Collins, Dublin, Ireland, June 22nd. Olena Kolesnyk, thank you so much. I cannot wait for this fight. I'm super excited that you're with Bellator. Hopefully, we'll talk again soon. And I'm happy to hear that you found love. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.